Go ahead and get started this evening. I want to welcome everybody. So first we're going to open with a prayer, and then we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag, so if everybody could stand.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this glorious day. We thank you for all your blessings you bestow upon our county, just its citizens, our employees, this council. Please bless us with the wisdom to make decisions that are based in your name. Please be with those who are most in need for you, especially those who don't know they need you. Thank you again for this glorious day. In Jesus' most precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Appreciate everybody coming tonight. We got some special things tonight, so looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and get started. So on the agenda tonight would be is May 9th before us, and we've had a chance to take a look at it. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda?
No.
Okay. All right. Hearing none, the chair moves that the agenda be accepted as unanimous consent. Okay. Next is going to be the minutes. Council's had a chance to take a look at the minutes of April 25th. Are there any deletions, additions, or corrections to the minutes?
Nope.
Okay. All right, hearing none, the chair moves that the minutes be accepted as unanimous consent. Okay, on the disbursements of May 9th, we've had a chance to take a look at those too. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the disbursements?
No corrections, just a recusal on the vote.
Okay. So Mrs. Haith is going to recuse herself from voting on that. So let's should we call a vote or raise your hand?
Do you want to do a motion second on that one?
Yep,
Since
yep,
we need to
yep,
record
yes.
a recusal?
Okay, so
I'll move to approve.
okay.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to approve the disbursements. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote, please?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lester?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Abstaining.
Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, first up tonight, we got a proclamation, correctional officer and employee of the week. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and read the proclamation to the record, please?
Correctional Officers and Employees Week, May 7th, 2023 through May 13th, 2023. Whereas correctional officers and employees staff the Talbot County Detention Center for the purpose of maintaining custody, security, control of every inmate, every hour of every day, of every week, of every month, of every year. And whereas the correctional officers and employees of the Talbot County Department of Corrections are essential to the county's criminal justice system and public safety by not only maintaining custody, security, and control of individuals committed to the detention center, but also by creating opportunities for inmates to resolve those personal issues that led to their incarceration. And whereas the correctional officers and employees of the Talbot County Department of Corrections are responsible for the administration and operation of a variety of programs and services beyond the walls of the detention center, including but not limited to work release, electronic home monitoring, and community service. And whereas the important work of correctional officers and employees rarely receives the recognition from the public it deserves, yet the professionalism, dedication, and courage routinely exhibited by these employees in the performance of assigned duties is worthy of and deserves our utmost respect. And whereas Talbot County is most fortunate to employ these highly professional, deeply committed, and extremely capable cadre of correctional officers and employees. Now therefore, we, the County Council of Talbot County, do hereby proclaim the week of May 7th through 13th, 2023, as Correctional Officers and Employees Week in Talbot County, and encourage all citizens of the county to recognize, acknowledge, and appreciate the many contributions made by these individuals to the safety of our community and to the quality of life enjoyed by all residents of and visitors to Talbot County. given under our hands in the Great Seal of Talbot County this 9th day of May in the year of our Lord, 2023.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Is there a motion and a second to approve the proclamation as presented?
I so moved. Second.
Okay, we got a motion and second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote, please?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. There he is. Come on up, Terry. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good.
It's a beautiful Tuesday in
I
Talbot
know.
County.
Yeah, you got it.
And
Yeah.
it's the second day of a beautiful week
You got you. Could you
celebrating
just pull-
corrections in Talbot
Yep,
County.
yep. There you go.
So
Yeah,
I'm pleased with the unanimous vote
yeah,
to ensure that the proclamation passes
yep.
and that we can post it proudly at the county detention facility in recognition of this fine week. As the proclamation reads, corrections is probably one of the least known of the trifecta of public safety agencies
Mhm.
with police and
Mhm.
with fire.
Mhm.
But I attest that corrections begins with a C, and it should be corrections, fire, and police.
Mhm.
So that's my story.
Mhm.
I'm sticking to it.
I got you.
I'm here today with a lot of my staff
Yep.
in the room to not only recognize in appreciation for the proclamation, but also to recognize our Employee of the Year,
Correct.
who's Corporal Minner, who will be the next thing on
Mhm.
your agenda.
Right.
So I'm pleased to accept the proclamation on behalf of all staff at the Talbot County Department of Corrections and
Mhm.
the county government that supports the Department of Corrections, including the
Okay.
county council.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
pleased to be here this evening.
Appreciate it. Mr. Step? Good.
Terry, thank you to yourself for the fine work you do. Thank you to your entire staff for handling what you do with grace and professionalism. It is not an easy job. We recognize that, and proud to deliver to you today.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm just glad to see a number of your employees here so that we can thank all of you in person for the important work that you do in keeping all of us safe. Thank you.
Thank you for your service. It's invaluable to our community.
Yep. Ms. Hayes?
Just echo what everyone has said, and it's good to see the staff here so that we can personally congratulate you for the hard work that you dedicate to the correction.
Thank you.
And I have to say too that I'm glad that you guys have all come here because you're really very, very important to us. And how important it is to us is you probably know that this year there's a bill passed for you guys, okay, to help your retirement. So that's how important you guys are to us because you're going to be on the same retirement plan as the sheriff's department. Am I correct?
Well, a parallel one anyway.
Parallel. So that's huge for you guys. So you guys deserve that. That's for sure. So-
One of only three bills.
Huh?
One of only three bills.
Yes.
On
Yes.
behalf of all my staff, I appreciate it because it really is important. And it's not only important because of the retirement benefit,
Mhm.
but it's important because what it demonstrates
Mhm.
is the support of county government
Mhm.
that what we say about corrections,
Right.
working the meanest and toughest beat in the criminal justice system,
Right.
without weapons and only their
Right.
own wits and ability to communicate that are their primary tools in successfully completing that mission. But also what it says to them that support goes beyond just a verbal support.
Mhm.
It goes on to the support that is relative and really makes it consistent with all other departments of corrections and counties in the state of
Yep.
Maryland, who are very few.
Yep.
So really, it's brought us up to where we really need to be for retaining and appreciating our staff. So to a person,
Mhm.
we appreciate
Yeah.
what the county council has done. We also appreciate what our legislative team
Mhm.
did in Annapolis this year,
Mhm.
where they took it across the goal line,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
greatly
you-
appreciate it.
You guys deserved it, so thank you. So Mr. Lester's going to come down here and present the proclamation to you.
Do you want to bring your staff Vote to
Yeah.
accept.
Get everybody
Can I
to
have
vote.
all my staff up here to block out the sunlight?
Block out the sun.
The wider lens, I think, should be nice. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, great. Sounds good.
Okay, so, so the next is, like Terry said, it's going to be the Employer of the Year at the Correctional. So, you want to take that over? Yes. Okay.
I'd like to bring Corporal Minner up here. He is not embarrassed, he's not shy to speak.
Well, that's
on
good.
his own
That's
behalf,
good.
but
We love
before
him
he does,
already.
I'd also like to thank his family that are
Mhm.
here this evening
Mhm.
to show their appreciation. I spoke with his mother, who's extraordinarily proud of his accomplishments in being selected Employee of the Year. So when we really reach out and we identify an employee that's really done an outstanding job for 12 months, it's not only meaningful to say, hey, you're the Employee of the Year, but it goes so much further than that. It not only rounds out the merits of what he's done, but also makes his family proud. And his co-workers are here this evening, and they all support him to a great degree. And I think he's a very well-deserving
Mhm.
Employee of the Year. And Sergeant 2 is here in the back, who is our
Mhm.
last year Employee of the Year.
Mhm.
And they will both be recognized in Ocean City at the Maryland Correctional Administrators Conference.
That's
So
great.
they'll receive an award in Ocean City. And so it's a very, very nice event that
Mhm.
really markets corrections in the way that it should be marketed. So I'd like,
Yes, that's good.
I
Yep.
guess you're gonna read the proclamation and, or the,
You want me to read your statement, or would you want to read it? The one you provided council.
There you go. Yep.
I could read it, and
That'd be
I'll be
great.
brief on
That'd be
the
good.
full
No
agenda
problem.
this
No,
evening.
no problem.
But we're very pleased to announce Corporal Andrew Minner as the 2002 Employee of the Year for the Talbot County Department of Corrections. Corporal Minner has served with the department since May 2017. During this time, he has immersed himself and taken advantage of every opportunity provided by the department. As such, he has successfully completed many specialized trainings offered by the department, including firearms and high-security inmate transports that he participates in frequently. During the first outbreak of COVID, he volunteered to assume all quartermaster responsibilities associated with coordinating and ordering the distribution of all PPE supplies and other security supplies and products needed for both personal protection and to keep the facility operating in an efficient manner. His proactive approach ensured all required supplies and products were on hand when needed with no prior experience. Additionally, he also assumed responsibility for processing all inmate commissary orders weekly and later distributed the products once delivered. His attention to detail ensured this very important task was completed, and fair accounting resulted in 0 grievances for an incorrect balance or missing products. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic until present, he has remained positive, arriving for work on time and completing all security duties assigned to him. Corporal Minner responds to emergency calls during the course of a routine day without hesitation, and after the fact, his reports are accurate, on point, and well-written. He never complains or backs away from an assignment. Rather, he presents a friendly and professional disposition, not only appreciated by supervisors, but other officers enjoy working with him. Corporal Minner enjoys other activities during his leisure time, but particularly enjoys working out with his many friends, because I think they came tonight from a workout and got here at 6 o'clock. and colleagues. He also has a sense of humor and enjoys involvement with Comic-Con, which which focuses on comic books and comic book culture during his free time and can tell you anything you ever want to know about it. Talbot County is extremely fortunate to have such a sincere and dedicated officer on staff. He always represents himself in a professional manner that not only speaks well of him, but also reflects in a positive light the other staff of the Department of Corrections. So I want to congratulate Corporal Minner and also say that I received no grievances from the inmates. So his compassionate dealings and communication with the inmates is equally as sound as his security functions and details on
Great.
point.
It's great.
So,
Thank you.
Corporal Minner.
Yep. Okay, Corporate, it's your time to shine now.
I appreciate the director's confidence in my ability to speak. Usually I'm not much of a public speaker, so I'll just keep it short and sweet that this is it is a pretty stressful job, and it's easy to feel unseen and unappreciated, and I really am thankful for your guys' kind words about the job that we do, because it means a lot to us, and it really helps us keep going, to keep doing the best job that we can. And I'm thankful for you guys' kind words, and I'm thankful for the director, and he's taught me a lot. And I would like to say that a lot of what I do is him leading by example. So without a great leader, I wouldn't be where I am today, I'd like to say.
That's great.
So
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mom.
And my family, and my family, obviously my mother and my coworkers and my uncle and my aunt,
Yep.
and
That's great.
everybody that has shown up to support me. I
Right.
really do appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much.
That's good. Thank you. Ms. Hayth?
Yes. So just congratulations for being Employee of the Year. I hear you, say how stressful the job is, but that lifting weights and pumping iron, right, helps alleviate that stress. I'm right there with you in the gym, missing my gym time too. But so keep doing that and alleviating that stress. But congratulations again, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
You're a true hero. Thank you for all you do.
Yes, thank you for your service, for going over the top. But you've raised a question about which side are you on, Marvel or DC?
It's easily Marvel.
Mr. Stepp?
There we go.
Yep.
No, I'm just echoing everyone else's thanks. So thank you for what you do. Appreciate you being here, and glad to celebrate you.
Thank
Yep.
you guys.
And we're so proud of you, and really proud of the whole department being here and your friends and everything. And that's what it's all about. It's all about the support and the team effort. And you're at the top, and you deserve it. So we're very, very proud of you as a council. And anything that we can do to help you, we're always here for you. That's for sure. All of you. So, okay, Mr. Stepp, you want to
Thank
go
you.
ahead and present it?
I need to read it.
Oh, you want to read it? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Certificate of recognition to Corporal Andrew J. Minner in recognition of your hard work, dedication, and commitment to excellence on behalf of the Talbot County Department of Corrections. We, the County Council of Talbot County, do hereby bestow upon you, as a token of the esteem and gratitude of Talbot County, this certificate of recognition in commemoration of your positive contributions to Talbot County and for having been chosen as the Talbot County Department of Corrections Officer of the Year for 2022 on this 9th day of May, 2023.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Okay. Okay, thank you, guys. Okay, that was great. That was great. Okay. We also have one more proclamation, National Travel and Tourism Week. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and read that into the record? That'd be great.
National Travel and Tourism Week 2023. Whereas the beauty and bounty of the Chesapeake Bay, its scenic landscapes and small towns, diversity of waterfowl and wildlife, and an abundance of fresh seafood draw tens of thousands of visitors to Talbot County annually. And whereas the travel and tourism industries offer employment and business opportunities to Talbot County citizens, creating enjoyable, meaningful, and memorable experiences for those living in and traveling to our beautiful county. And whereas the travel industry fuels all industries and will continue to be an essential part of Talbot County's economy and workforce, and is an economic powerhouse for Talbot County with an economic output of $303 million supporting 1,986 jobs in Talbot County. And whereas visitor spending supports the building and sustainability of a vibrant and thriving community in Talbot County, generating $64.3 million in state and local tax revenue to support essential services such as education, emergency response, public safety, and more. And whereas travel is an essential industry leading to economic growth, benefiting businesses, and fostering mutual understanding, enabling success for all industries, including agriculture, aviation, healthcare, and manufacturing, by driving sales growth, innovation, education, and operations that move the Talbot County economy forward, with hospitality and tourism helping to spur the post-COVID recovery of the Talbot County economy with the return of leisure and business travel. Therefore, we, the Talbot County Council, do hereby proclaim May 7th through the 13th, 2023, as National Travel and Tourism Week in Talbot County, and urge the citizens of Talbot County to join us in recognizing the critical role the tourism industry plays locally and in the state of Maryland. Given under our hands in the Great Seal of Talbot County this 9th day of May in the year of our Lord, 2023.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. Okay, is there a motion?
I'll move for the proclamation.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, so you want to bring your team up?
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
It's great to be here tonight, and I want to give congratulations to my colleagues in the Corrections Department. We're in similar industries where we both exhibit hospitality to our guests. So,
Let's tell everybody who you are now.
oh, and I'm
Okay.
Cassandra Van Hooser. I'm the Director of Economic Development and Tourism for Talbot County, and I have with me my chairman of my tourism board, Captain Judy Bixler, and my colleague Krista Boothby.
Mm-hmm.
Waving from the back. So, National Travel and Tourism Week was established in 1983 to celebrate travel's essential role in our country. Travel stimulates economic growth, cultivates vibrant communities, creates job opportunities, inspires new businesses, and elevates the quality of life for Americans. And while we're here accepting this proclamation declaring it Travel and Tourism Week in Talbot County, we're not here for our department alone. We're here on behalf of the men and women who work every day in travel and tourism in Talbot County. Last week, we hosted our Business Appreciation Summit at the Tidewater Inn here in Easton. Our banquet manager was a young man named Richard Bates, and he helped us pull off a stunning event that was absolutely flawless. And the first thank you note that I wrote after that event was to Richard's supervisor, because he was outstanding and he was emblematic of the employees that we have here in Talbot County, and that kind of work ethic and customer service should be rewarded. So we're here for the people in our industry, and I want you to know that there are almost 2,000 people like Richard directly employed in travel and tourism in Talbot County, and we're here tonight to celebrate them. So one of those people who works in hospitality in Talbot County is my chairman, Judy Bixler, who's the captain of the Oxford Bellevue Ferry. As I said, she's a local leader and also a leader throughout the state, as she's the chairman of the State Tourism Development Board. And she's also the smiling face that many people see when they board the ferry, and she's the smiling face that people remember when they think of Talbot County. So I want to publicly acknowledge her and thank her for all that she does for Talbot County. And I'll hand it over to Captain Judy to see if she has a few remarks.
Thank you, Cassandra. We want to thank Cassandra for all she does, and it's a pleasure to work with her. I can't believe I've been on the ferry for 22 years already. So I've been part of hospitality in the county. We came here in order to buy the ferry, so those 22 years have been terrific to be here in Talbot County. And I'm always proud to say there are 600 miles of shoreline that we share here in Talbot County. And I do feel proud to be a face of Talbot County when I'm out and about throughout the state in my tourism role with the State Tourism Development Board. And I thank the staff as well. Krista and Cassandra do a fine job of promoting us, marketing us, and we always want to remember that tourism gives back. That's one of the great things we do.
Yeah,
We
sure is.
not only do we employ a number of people, but we also collect the accommodations taxes, which then comes back to the county and back to the state with the state sales tax and things like that. So we're one of the few industries that doesn't just take. And we appreciate all the council does for all of us. Thank you very much for supporting our office.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Stepp?
I'll let go of the thanks. I love you calling out to the, you just thanking all the folks that work in the industry. I mean, because that's what this is all about. I mean, Captain Judy, I mean, you employed my dad for a short period of time. So it was just you think about just how your business alone just touches many folks that come here. But, Cassandra, thank you for all you do as well. Just keeping Talbot County in the spotlight and bringing all that come here year in, year out. Thank you.
Well, the fact that I'm another one of those 2,000 employees in Talbot County who makes his living in travel and tourism, that's just one reason that I have to be thankful for all that you do for this sector in Talbot County and how effectively you do it.
Ditto. Great job, both of you. Thank you.
Mrs. Hayes?
Well, I certainly value all that both of you do and enjoy serving as the liaison to the tourism board. So keep up the good work, and I look forward to working with both of you.
Thank you.
Yep, and I'll just end it. You guys really, last week, knocked it out of the park. That was probably, if not the best, one of your best events that you've had. It felt great. The speaker, he was phenomenal. And the thing that you had in the afternoon, I think a lot of really people enjoyed that, that positive message that he was trying to give everybody. So, but, Cassandra, you did a great job. You really, really did. And we really appreciate what you bring to us. And Captain Judy, I mean, just everybody in the state knows you, So, I mean, honestly, I mean, when you go to either Bellevue or Oxford, you're it. So you're a big part of traffic and people coming there and bicyclists and just it goes on. So you're a big part of that, bringing that value to us. So we really appreciate it.
We're happy to welcome everyone to Talbot County, always.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
very
then
nice.
you want
Thank
to go
you very
ahead and
much.
yep, we got a little gift for you now.
Very nice what they do.
There you go. There you go.
Wait for Krista to come up.
Hold on. Yep. Yep.
Can you guys actually come up just a little bit? One, two, three.
It's very nice what you do.
Okay, all right, that was great. Okay, next up, we're going to do an update with Midshore Behavioral Health. You guys want to come on up?
Good evening.
Good evening, how you guys?
Nice to see you all. I'm
Nice.
Katie Dilley, the Executive Director at Midshore Behavioral Health.
Yeah,
and I will let Shannon introduce herself.
Yeah?
Good evening, I'm Shannon Joyce, also with Midshore Behavioral Health Coordinator of Pastoral and Aging.
Okay, great.
Thank you all for having us this
Yep.
evening. We are here for our annual update on all things Midshore Behavioral Health, but in addition, we are requesting endorsement in fiscal year '24 to continue to serve as your core service agency here
Okay.
in Talbot County.
Okay.
But it's a special time of year. I'm glad we could get on the calendar to
Mhm.
present to you all this evening in the month of May, because it is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mhm.
And this week is actually Children's Mental Health Matters Awareness Week. So it's a special week within
Yeah.
the month. So
Yeah.
we are wearing our green proudly, which is the color of mental health awareness. So again, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to give a couple of highlights this evening of things that have been going on over the last year and things we're looking forward to welcoming in fiscal year '24. And Shannon will be giving a couple of Talbot County specific updates before we close. So one thing we've been working on for the last several years is with our 5 county health departments in their local addictions authority role. We have developed a partnership called the Midshore Planning Collaborative, where as a group of 5 health departments in our organization, we collectively plan for the behavioral health needs of our community members and constituents. We are actively working towards a more formalized structure, hopefully in the next couple of years, to serve as the local behavioral health authority for the region. And I've been sharing that for years. It's a very involved planning process, as you can imagine. So any updates we have with that, we'll be certain to come and share that with you all as the council. We continue to expand the resources that are supporting our regional crisis response system. Most recently, in the last 2 years, we have secured additional funding to address the child and adolescent population and their behavioral health needs with our mobile response and stabilization services, which is a special arm of our crisis response provider network that's working with our school system, as well as the Department of Social Services, to identify at-risk families and youth, to get ahead of providing services to prevent crisis and to ensure resources that are coming into that home, into that child's life. So that's a really exciting development. And that hopefully will be at the end of FY24 in 8 of the 9 counties here on the shore. So we're excited about that. This coming year, we'll be supporting Channel Marker in developing a regional suicide prevention coalition, as well as a support network for those impacted by suicide. That will be a regional group of providers, in addition to offering a regional support network for those that have been impacted by suicide. We have a new award as well coming in '24 to look at how we address firearm safety with our first responders and our community members in crisis. We will be distributing gun locks at all of our crisis response encounters. So if there's a household that does acknowledge having a firearm in the household, we'll be leaving behind a gun lock for that, hopefully to have a more secured maintenance of the firearm in the home. In addition to doing some special education with the extreme risk protective order process, which was put into play back in, I want to say 2018, but it's not something that's widely known. So we're going to be doing a lot more community education on how to make sure that those that may be at risk of self-harm or presenting as potentially unstable could have that, their firearms removed from the home temporarily until they're a little bit more stable. So we're going to be doing some education in the community. I know a lot of you on the council have been a very active supporting partner with the work we've done up in Kent County to sustain and secure the AF Whitsitt Center. We had a special presentation last Friday to the strategic planning group that's been formed. So thanks to those of you that were able to join us, and we appreciate the support. I'm happy to report that as of March 10th, the AF Whitsitt Center, which serves right now our primarily adult substance use residential needs,
has been taken off of the state's divestiture list. They had been listed as a facility that would be removed from the state's responsibility in the next few years, and the state has reclaimed and reinvested themselves in making sure the building gets the infrastructure support that it needs, as well as now we're in a phase of looking at how we could potentially expand the services that are offered in that building. On Friday morning, the Department of Health did endorse and acknowledge a first installment of $4 million towards the building, which will go towards much needed critical infrastructure support needs that need to be taken care of now. But we'll continue to be meeting as a strategic planning group to identify additional needs and hopes for expansion of resources that can be offered at that structure. Let's see. One big transition just in a service component here in the region this past year, we did have the closure of Eastern Shore Psychological Services. That provider served about 22 individuals on the Eastern Shore, which is a significant part of our population. So anytime a provider is in a position where they need to close their doors, that is where our core service responsibilities really come into play. So we helped assist with ensuring the regulatory process of closing a large provider network, as well as reestablishing not only the individuals served by that organization, but also the clinical team and administrative staff. We help with the transition to other providers here in the region. We do have a new provider that has assumed at least the location here off of Canvasback Road. That's New Day, New Start. And they will be providing a large array of services of mental health and substance use treatment. And they're also looking at potentially assuming the treatment of the sex offender population that was served by Eastern Shore Psychological Services, which is a difficult population to find a provider for. So we're really hopeful that they will be successful in the county and be able to have a nice footprint in reaching the populations that really were left in need when ESPS closed in September. I'm going to hand it over to Shannon. She's going to introduce you to a new initiative that's a state initiative that's being run out of our office under Shannon's leadership. And then a couple of Talbot County highlights, and then we'll close out because I know you guys are short for time.
That's appreciated.
So in addition to our already established behavioral health assisted living pilot, which we do serve currently 5 residents through that program, we were awarded funding for what's called the State Hospital Discharge Initiative. So that is slated to serve 20 individuals who are clinically ready to be discharged into the community from state hospitals around the state into assisted living facilities. So currently we do have 15 individuals who have been successfully discharged, and they're doing very well in the community. I'm looking at serving about 5 more. And in total with that 20 individuals, 5 of them are undocumented as well. So looking forward to seeing how that evolves throughout the next fiscal year. And we are in process of hiring an additional staff member to assist with that as well.
That's great. That's great.
So we also attend and participate in the local drug and alcohol abuse council. So that's also called LDACs. Talbot County Goes Purple, Shore Regional Health Opioid Task Force. So we are a team member, or a team member of Midshore is the co-chair of the LDAC and sits on the Opioid Fatality Review Committee. In addition, Midshore has supported the planning of the opioid restitution funding for Talbot County specifically. Katie has served as the Talbot Family Network Local Management Board co-chair since July of 2020 to present day. Midshore's Caius Behavioral Health Coordinator supports an active leadership role with the local care team for the county and has supported multiple youth in the county with care planning and supported intervention arrangements. Midshore sponsors and promotes the NAMI Walks Your Way Maryland. Midshore's Youth Outreach Coordinator partnerships with the Talbot County Public Schools to continue to support anti-vaping campaign presentations to middle and high school students. Katie also serves on the START Advisory Committee. Midshore participates on the Planning Committee and sponsors the Out of the Darkness Suicide Awareness Walk and continues to support annual planning for this event in Easton. Midshore has coordinated and facilitated Shore Regional Health meetings for high-risk behavioral health consumers about the return to their communities. Midshore supports the leadership and participation in the Talbot County Mental Health Work Group, and that was actually initiated in January of 2022, and it continues to present day. 4 participants successfully completed and graduated from Talbot County Problem Solving Court in fiscal year 22/23. Midshore staff participation with the Talbot County Conversations on Race, so that's different sessions that occur throughout a matter of months. There's 3 Midshore team members who are participating on the Talbot County Equity Coalition, and that was initiated in the spring of 2023. And we do have a little bit of data to go through as well. So just wanted to point out that the total number of mental health consumers served within fiscal year 22 was 1,689. And the total number of substance abuse disorder consumers served, again in fiscal year 22, was 649.
And those are Talbot County specific numbers.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's all we have.
Okay. All right. Mr. Stepp?
No,
Okay.
thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all the information, and appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Further questions?
Questions?
No, I just
Yeah.
thank you for all that you do, and I'm glad you mentioned that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I think that's
Yeah.
good to note so that the community is aware of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Katie, I just want to let you know, you did a fabulous job Friday at that
Oh,
meeting.
thank you.
You know, that was good. And I think you were there too, weren't you?
No, Shannon was not
Shannon-
there.
Well,
No.
I couldn't remember if she was there or not, but you definitely made us aware of what was going on, and it was a great turnout too. So, you did a fabulous job, so.
Thank you very
Yep.
much. I appreciate
Yep,
that.
yep. So, okay, so, is there a motion?
I'll move for the letter of agreement with
Okay.
Midshore Behavioral Health as our core service agency.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to go ahead and do the agreement letter. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote, please?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lisher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot.
Thank you so
You're-
much.
you're
And
welcome.
we're happy to come back at any point and present. So
Okay, okay.
I know that we have our Talbot County Mental Health Work Group and Nancy Andrews and Geneva.
Yep,
And
okay.
I have been leading that, and
Okay, great.
we'll probably be asking to come for some time
Yeah.
in the next couple months. So
Okay.
thank you.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, just running just not too bad tonight. Next is public hearing. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and please read the resolution of number 342 into the record?
Resolution number 342, a resolution concerning the proposed annexation by the town of Easton, Maryland, the town of certain real property located on the north side of Port Street at Easton Point, consisting of 4.743 acres of land and 0.156 acres of land, more or less, collectively the properties, finding that the properties proposed rezoning from Talbot County's limited industrial LI zoning to the town's mixed-use waterfront MXW zoning upon their annexation will result in substantially different uses or substantially higher density exceeding 50% than could be granted for proposed development under the county's LI zoning, and waiving the 5-year hold in accordance with Section 4-416 of the Local Government Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. We'll just start off. Mr. Thomas, you want to start us off, or Brennan?
Sure, so
Yep.
just generally, when a municipality annexes land into its limits, under state law, it can't use that land for uses substantially different than the existing zoning or at a substantially greater density for a period of 5 years, unless the county agrees to waive that 5-year zoning hold. And here, the town of Easton is annexing certain property, I believe 2 parcels, which it currently owns. And it has asked the county to waive the 5-year zoning so it can change the zoning to the MXW, which is substantially different and allows a substantially higher density than the current county zoning.
Okay, all right.
Evening, Council. Brennan Tarleton, Talbot County Planning and Zoning. I just wanted to report to you this evening that the Planning Commission at their regularly scheduled May 3rd meeting unanimously provided a favorable recommendation of the approval of the release or the request of the 5-year hold from the town of Easton for the zoning on the property. Also noted in discussions on that application, the representatives from the town of Easton were present and provided the Planning Commission with additional information related to the plans for the 2 subject properties with their overall proposal that was presented to you all in March with respect to the park improvements that the town is currently working on under their MXW zoning regulations. And some of you may recall or have been on the council at the time when that zoning was established. There was a significant amount of input and collaboration from the town and county planning commissions as well as the town and county councils developing that zoning district with strict regulations based on architecture and limited development standards. But the town has provided us the indication that they plan to utilize this portion or these 2 properties herein for the establishment of that park and open space as well.
Okay then. All right, I appreciate that. So, okay, at this time, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing. I'll give you 3 minutes for individuals, 5 minutes if you're speaking for an organization. So I'll go ahead and if anybody here on my left wants to come on up. Lynn, you want to come on up? Good evening.
Good evening, council members. Lynn Thomas, I am the town planner for the town of Easton. Good to see you all this evening.
It's good seeing you.
I think the folks who spoke before me perfectly summarized the request. Not a whole lot I can add. I will point out this request is a little bit different than, in a couple of respects, than others that we might have been before you in the past. First, we in the town of Easton are not only the entity into whose jurisdiction the property would come, we are also the applicant and the property owner in this case. And secondly, although the proposed zoning does allow for greater development intensity or density, the actual plans for the property involve no development at all. It's intended to be a waterfront park, which is a central feature of our Port Street Small Area Plan. This would be, we think, a key part of that, hopefully a catalyst to more such activity and actually maybe the economic development activity that's envisioned there as well. That is the town's plans. If you need a little more assurance of that, the town obtained a grant to help offset the cost of obtaining the property, and a condition of that grant is that it be used for a public park.
Great.
So on behalf of the town, I respectfully request that the council waive your 5-year zoning hold. And if you have any questions, I am certainly happy to attempt to answer them.
Yeah.
I just have one question, and it's not directly pertinent to this, but when you do annexations, I know you're not allowed to create islands. And looking at the map, is that happening here, or how are you dealing with that?
So Easton Point is a little bit unusual, and I'm certain that we are not creating any islands, and that the property is contiguous to the existing town boundary. We can attack it from multiple angles because you are permitted to come across the water from Easton Village. That can be used to satisfy the criteria as well. You know, frankly, as a planner, it would give me a little bit of pause, even though it may not create islands with the somewhat disjointed nature of how we're annexing properties, were it not for the fact that it's a limited and finite area on Easton Point that we're looking at, and we envision all of it eventually coming into the town.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Any questions? Okay. Okay, thank you, Len, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, does anybody else like to come up? Okay. All right, anybody here to my right like to come on up? Okay, and speak on 342, okay? All right, there's nobody else wants to, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing on Resolution 342. Any other questions, council? Okay, all right. Is there a motion?
I'll move for adoption of 342 with a note of thanks for all of the past cooperation between county and town that has led us to this point.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Madam Secretary, we got a motion and second to go ahead and approve Resolution 342. Can you call the vote, please?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, then. All right, thanks a lot. Okay. All right, now, next on the agenda, we got Resolution 339, and it's eligible for voting. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and read that into the record?
Resolution number 339, a resolution to amend the Talbot County Comprehensive Water and Sewer Plan to reclassify and remap certain real properties in and around the villages of Barneck and Fairbank from unprogrammed to S1, immediate priority status for sewer service from the Region 5 Tillman wastewater system.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. Go ahead and open it to the floor. Come on up, guys. Yep.
Council President, just going to give you a real quick update.
Let's tell everybody who you are, Ray.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Ray Clark, County Engineer. Apologize.
There you go.
Yeah, ultimately, on April 20th, the Public Works Advisory Board reviewed Resolution 339 and basically passed a motion recommending the council adopt Resolution 339 via a 5-0 vote.
Okay, that's great.
And the Planning Commission reviewed the resolution at their regularly scheduled May 3rd meeting and found it to be consistent with the 2016 comprehensive plan as well as the 7 relevant standards in accordance with the environmental article 9-506 subsection A1 of the Maryland Annotated Code.
Okay, sounds good. Any discussion from council? Okay. Mr. Lesher? Okay.
Again, I've watched this as this has progressed through. We know that we have some septic systems that are in trouble down in Tillman, and we do have a wastewater treatment plant down there that will allow a better standard of treatment. Someday we'll get that upgraded as well, and it will be better still. But this is that existing system is an improvement on septic systems, and so this is appropriate for the health of the bay, for the health of us in Talbot County, an important step forward to provide access to that wastewater treatment system.
Any other comments?
No,
Okay.
no,
Good.
I think
Okay. All right, guys. I
Councilman
appreciate-
Lesher said it eloquently.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, is there a motion?
I'll move for approval of Resolution 339.
Is there a
Second.
Okay, we got a motion, second. Madam Secretary, go ahead and approve Resolution 339. Could you call the vote, please?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. All right, next up, we got the county manager report, and Mr. Stamp's not feeling too good tonight. We wish him well. And we got the next in line. Okay.
Okay. This evening, council, we don't have any board and committee appointments, but I would like to remind the public that we are seeking interested parties to serve on the following boards and commissions: the Adult Public Guardianship Review Board, the Agricultural Resolution Board, the Animal Control Board, the Board of Appeals, Board of Electrical Examiners, Commission on Aging, Historic Preservation Commission, Public Works Advisory Board,
and the Talbot County Property Tax Assessment Appeals Board. If anybody is interested in serving on any of these boards or has questions about the meeting times or
Right.
dates, please contact the county manager's office at 410-770-8010 or visit our website, www.talbotcountymd.gov. Next, I'd like to call forward Dana Newman, the Director of the Talbot County Free Library, for a number of items this evening. The first of which is a request from Talbot County Free Library for a letter of support to provide matching funds for the design and architectural engineering services and initiation of construction for the St. Michael's Library expansion and renovation project. This first request, the Talbot County Free Library is seeking a letter of support to provide matching funds in the sum of $314,800 for design and architectural engineering services for the St. Michael's Library project. The state of Maryland has provided a grant.
All right, so this letter would just be certifying that the funds would be available for fiscal year '24 to match the grant that we're already getting through the state capital grant program for $314,800. And that's to finish design and to start construction on the project. So we're just asking for the letter of support so we can send it in with the grant application.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank you for holding the public engagement session on the St. Michael's Library expansion. Sorry that I wasn't able to be there myself, but for all that you're doing to engage the public on this and moving this project forward, you're being very diligent and careful about all these steps, and I want to thank you and the library board for moving this forward in the proper way.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion?
I'll move for the what is it, the letter of support.
Right. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Madam Secretary, I have a motion and a second to write a letter of support.
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Great. And then next
Okay.
is, again, for a letter of support for the library's application for a fiscal year '25 Maryland Library Capital Grant Program for the St. Michael's Library. As you read in your agenda packet, the Talbot County Free Library is seeking a letter of support for their grant application. The letter will support and outline the county's intent to commit funding for this project in the amount of $2,803,000.
Okay.
So this is definitely required in order to move forward with the project. Fiscal year '25 would see the last year. It is to finish construction. It would also provide for some furnitures and fixtures in the building, as well as a construction manager and contingencies and fees and that type of thing. Without this matching letter, we wouldn't be able to move forward with the application. And we certainly are very eager to finish this project. So we hope that you'll support that letter as well.
Well, this item is and has been in our 5-year capital budget, and so this comes as no surprise, and so I'll move for the letter of support.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I got a motion second for another support letter to help the library. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay.
Great. And the last is a request for a letter of certification to the United States Department of Agricultural Rural Development for the St. Michael's Library Expansion Project. The library is seeking this letter of certification for their community facilities grant application.
So this letter basically certifies that there isn't another agency in the county that's providing the same service and that supports the project, as well as states that there are no adverse consequences or impacts for us to provide that service. So it really is just a letter that's required for this grant. And we are also, or have been notified through Senator Cardin's office, that our request for the next fiscal year for $900,000 was approved to continue on. So we're hopeful for that amount as well in the future too.
Okay.
Well, I want to again thank the library leadership and library board for pursuing these additional funding avenues for this project, ultimately relieving the county of some of the financial burden of moving this project forward. So thank you for being so entrepreneurial and looking at every possible avenue to fund this project. And with that, I will move for the letter of certification.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion second. Madam Secretary, would you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay.
I appreciate
No
it, and I
problem. We
would
do
say
too.
also that we are a good ways down the road with the foundations, the library foundation's effort to raise dollars. We're looking to raise $1 million for buying the collection that would go into the new library, as well as pay for other things that the capital dollars may not pay for. So
that's
we
great.
really do want to make sure that you're aware that we are putting every effort out into trying to find funding for the project, so.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate
right.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you for all
Thanks,
you do.
Dana.
Okay.
That concludes the report.
Okay, good job.
All righty.
Yeah, good job. Okay. All right, next up is public comment. We had a list out there. Is there anything on that? I don't believe so either. So, okay, let's go ahead and start off here to my left here. Anybody like to come up? Okay. Uh-oh. On my third, are you coming up?
Oh, not this evening.
Okay, all right, okay, no problem. All right. Anybody want to say anything? Jess, I was proud of you. Okay. All right. Next is council comments. Okay. You want to start? You good?
None here today, Mr.
You
President.
good? Okay. All right.
I just want to announce that I'll be absent from the May 23rd council meeting because of an obligation with my full-time employer. Since our budget legislation is scheduled for that evening, I intend to leave a sealed ballot for voting on that measure.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Ms. Melky,
Nothing
you got
this
it?
evening.
Nothing this evening?
Nope.
Say-
Only thing I have
Yeah?
is that I'll be absent at our next meeting as well, and we'll be leaving a ballot for the budget adoption.
Okay, that's great. Okay, and, all right, well, I just want to say, and I was saying it to Cassandra last week when she did the business breakfast, that was a good time, especially having, I think it was close to a couple hundred business people at the Tidewood or in at the Gold Room, so that was really great. And Sarah, you're doing a great job out there for us too. I'm serious, you are. You're keeping us informed, and I'm not sure if I need another Sarah myself to keep up with you, you know. So, but no, I appreciate everything you're doing. That's for sure. So, you want to go ahead and.
The County Council's next meeting will be held on Tuesday, May 23rd, beginning at 6 o'clock p.m. The council will be convening an open session at 4:30 p.m. and then adjourning into closed session to discuss real estate, legal, and personnel matters as listed on the statement for closing that meeting. On Tuesday, May 16th, the council will be holding final budget deliberations beginning at 3:30 p.m. here in the Bradley Meeting Room, followed by a meeting with the Board of Education at 5 o'clock p.m. at the Board of Education offices on Magnolia Street. Therefore, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting and reconvene as noted?
So moved.
Okay, we got a motion second to adjourn. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, appreciate everybody coming tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.